Hey there everybody, welcome to Trial Irish for Gaming. Today we are back with Pokemon Premier Journey here in Legends EA. It's episode 127 and I'm going to go through a Shalpha rundown a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'm going to talk about exactly what I do, just in case you never check a stream out or because I do this occasionally on streaming here on YouTube and on Twitch, sometimes on Kick. I'll do like the shiny hunts. I won't catch the mons unless I record the episode live during the stream. But what I'll do is go through my actual hunt process a lot of the time. And I thought, why not actually record an episode for that? Now, you just heard a shiny sound. This guy's going to spot me, so I'm going to have to exit out anyways. Not a Shalpha. Alright, so the Shalpha rundown is pretty simple. You can see what's causing the shiny right there. What I do is when I try to get a Shalpha, because I have a viewer challenge from Chill and Read that states I need to catch a Shalpha in each wild zone. That body's not green, so obviously that's not a Shalpha. And the extra drill in the center is not a Shalpha. There could be another Shalpha elsewhere, but I'm spawning more than enough Pokemon just running in, and I have to run to this like light part, this like light area, to spawn them in. Now in the background you probably saw it too, so let me talk about this. I do this for hours on end. Viewer challenges mean the world to me, and truth be told, it is something that means a lot to me. That when one of you take the time out of your day or night to comment a challenge, I work hard on it. And these Shalphas are proof. The fact I Shalpha hunt for hours, and I have to get a Shalpha in each wild zone, so all 20 wild zones, is a lot of work. Now sometimes we'll get lucky, right? Sometimes we'll luck into a Pokemon that, you know, we go bench reset at like wild zone 14, or not 14, 9, and get the Shalpha Manectric. Or bench reset like maybe a day, like a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours, and I'll get the shiny Sharpedo. Or luck into getting a random Shalpha Fletchling. I'll hunt occasionally for Starmie. Or luck into a random shiny Skidoo that's now a Go-Go. Or hunt for days, literally 5 or 6 days, multiple hours each day, just get a Shalpha, you know, well, I was gonna say the wrong Pokemon, by the way. I was gonna say Ariados, but it's not Ariados, it's Spinarak. Anyways, it's now an Ariados, but I got my first Shalpha here in the center with Metagross. I hunted the lions and got it like in 2 or 3 nights of having the battle zone over here. It was really quick. I only duped or only got one other shiny doing it. It was really quick. So like some wild zones are really nice. You know, I got the Houndoom here. You know, so there's some that are just really nice. Some, like I said before, 7 took days upon days of days resetting. By the way, I do think that Fletchinder, if you're trying for the Shalpha Fletchinder, I don't think it appears during the day. I think it only appears during the night. At least I've never seen a clip of him being got during the day, so yeah. And then a prime example was Wild Zone 16. I just randomly lucked into the Shalpha Ampharos by randomly running through 5 one day, looking for random shinies. So yeah, I mean, it gives and takes. So we are obviously 12 out of the 20 zones. Wild Zones 1, I just said 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we skip 5, unfortunately, and go to 6. And then, unfortunately, then we go 9, 10, skipping 8. And then, even further, we skip a ton more. Jumping straight to 16, 18, and then 20, because I did get the Salamence here, and that also only took, like, a little bit of resetting. I spent, like, a few hours resetting, then I decided to record an episode, and then one of the episodes, I randomly slept at a bench, and boom. There was the Salamence Shalpha. So yeah, sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you have to spend hours. Like Wild Zone 5, I run for days underneath in the water, and that's just not fun to record because the water sound is annoying. But let's focus on Wild Zone 14. I'm not going to go over seasonal viewer challenges, anything like that right now, because I want to focus on the Shalpha hunting. I've already spent enough time talking. I do have a number of Pokemon already shiny. So thankfully I have not faced on Fish yet, but there is a shiny Pidgey over there that can sometimes spawn right here, so that's why we sometimes hear the sound and sometimes don't, but that shiny Pidgey is one of them. We also have, at least during the night, I don't know what we all have during the day, right here, a shiny Drober. I don't believe we have anything over here. Oh, we have 2 shiny Drobers. I need to mark that down. I did not know we had another shiny Drober. Let me mark that down real quick. I am keeping notes because when I catch them and I know the shiny's there, it makes it a lot easier to run through them. You know what I mean? Like, I have to make shorts for them. So yeah, let me reset so these guys calm down. So I actually have 2 shiny Drobers and a Pidgey and another guy. I did get an Excadrill shiny, and we'll talk about him. I also have to run through during the day just in case any of the other guys. But now we know there's a shiny Drober over there. What? I just heard a shiny. I heard that one. Wait, hold on. Is there another shiny? Oh, it's the Excadrill there. Yeah, and I already know of that Excadrill being shiny, so yeah. So far we have phased now 4 times on shinies that are not the Shalpha. So, all that running around was inefficient and time showing to show you the shinies I already have. I am not catching them though, because... Oh yeah, by the way, the Pidgey's right there, and occasionally he will... His sound will randomly play for some reason. But the goal is to run to like past this marker, like right here, and the Alpha will show up. And then I reset. That is as simple as it is. Now we're gonna run through probably this night, 2 days and another night. So we're gonna go 2 days, 2 nights of resetting, but second night is just this. The most annoying Pokemon here, Aeron, at least when I run in here, Aerons usually do not lock onto me unless they're Alpha. So Aerons are pretty chill, right? Like I can get up to that light post and this Aeron won't bother me. I'm not going to because Lairon, its evolved form, is the annoying one. Lairon has a habit of noticing me when he shouldn't. Like there was once where I was like, let me actually recreate it. I saw Lairon over there and I was like, oh, I won't let him see me. I'll sneak over here. And so I went here to go see if it's a Shalpha, and there was a Lairon where that Aeron was over on the left side, and he spotted me from what felt like miles away. And he's like, oh, I locked onto you. Now you can't fly reset. Because you can see here, if I can get up to here to spawn the Shalpha or the Alpha and see it's not a Shalpha, I can just reset without running backwards. But we'll eventually see with a Lairon. No, there's one right there. Even if I sneak all the way over here... Oh, he turned around at the right moment. Oh, that's so lucky. You can see the shiny Excadrill back there. So yeah. Oh, there's another Alpha. Nope, okay. I really don't pay attention to the other Excadrill. Unless I notice it is Alpha. Then I will try to check it. But yeah, you can see this fly resetting is a pretty quick method. I can get up here pretty nicely. Aerons don't bother me. And like I said, we know we have 1 shiny Excadrill. By the way, the 2 Excadrill, the 2 non-alpha Excadrills will swap spots between 4 possible spawns, but the shiny will stay there day or night. So yeah, so these Lairon might spot me if one of them turn around. They did not, good. Yeah, if Lairon's turned around and looking at you, man, it can lock on from what feels like miles away. He really ruins this, but right now we're on a very lucky streak of not getting spotted. So as long as I can spawn in and see that Excadrill, we're good. So I have phased 4 times. 2 Drober, 1 of the Excadrills, and a Pidgey. So the problem with this guy is he's an Alpha, so now he could possibly lock onto us. He's not shiny because his body isn't green. Oh, we got 2 Alphas again, man. That sucks. Yeah, there's a number of times I've had 2 or 3 Alphas, especially before that Excadrill in the center was one of them was shiny. Yeah. So this Lairon might spot me no matter where I go, so let me hopefully stay behind him. Load in, load in, load in. Okay, I can reset. Yeah, like, even if you're crouched, even if you're silent, he will still get alerted for some reason. That Lairon is crazy. But yeah, Lairon here is a nightmare. And see, that Aeron is looking at me. Lairon won't, but Aeron, the little one, can literally look dead at you from like a couple feet away and will not register every time. It's almost like a dinosaur, like if you stand still, he won't notice you. Ooh, that Lairon was about to turn around. So yeah, this is kind of a cat and mouse game, and like I said, it's not the most entertaining, but I think it is important if you guys kind of see what I'm going through to Shalpha Hunt these guys. Because yeah, I could run around and try to check every spawn, but in Wild Zone 14, there are quite a few spawns. Like, literally just talking about Wild Zone 14, like the entrance of this thing, there are a number of Pokemon I can spawn in right off the bat, right? Just by fly resetting without even taking another step in. I'm already spawning in a possibility of a Gumi or two Gumi or Slagoos. But that is only during rain, and it'd be obviously down there, right? This Magikarp can be shiny. The Pidgey over there can be shiny. And I think there's another Pidgey spawn that can be shiny somewhere. Or maybe I'm thinking about the two spawn points here. I'm thinking of those two spawn points. Yeah. So anyways, but just inside, there's also a number of spawns for Aeron and Lairon. There's a lot of dupes for that. Drillbur and Onyx. And I also reset the Emolga spawn. So yeah, like that's all before stepping in, by the way. Right, I have like, what, I think like 8 spawns on the outside. Oh, well, it's not green, so that's not shiny. So yeah, the Magikarp, the Gumi Slagoo, the Emolga. So counting the 5 spawns that could be Aeron or Lairon, that's 5 Pokemon. Drillbur or Onyx, that's another 3, so we're at 8 there. Magikarp's 9, Pidgey's 10, and Emolga's 11, and that's before, right? That's already 10 shinies that could possibly spawn. That's before we even step up and account the fact that we are spawning in 3 Exadrills, and we are sometimes even spawning the Helioptiles, depending on where they're located at. Most of the time we are. So we can actually get 10 shinies and phase. That is why during the day I'm also going to check, because if we ever have 10 shinies, I need to catch them. Now, I could always end up catching the Pokemon I already have, but I feel like waiting till 10 is a good shout, because that means I can't phase as often. And if I can really focus and try to get that Excadrill in the center to be Shalpha, that is the goal. Obviously, it's going to switch to day, which will spawn into Helioptile. Now, the Helioptile only spawn during day when it's sunny, like normal sunny day. Rain, fog, nothing like that can make it spawn. Only sun. And we've seen a lot of fog here for some reason. Obviously, you haven't, but yeah. See, look, Aeron's literally dead looking at me, man, and he's not alerted. Aeron is chill. Lairon, however, wants blood. So yeah, let me save here. Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna go piss off a Lairon. But you can see the Pidgey over there. Magikarp still isn't gold. I'm glad we haven't phased on Magikarp, so that's good. But yeah. Oh, this guy's gonna get really pissed at me. Okay, he's behind. Hold on. I want to reset one more time. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to deal with an Alpha Lairon. So we know of 2 Drillbur, an Excadrill, and a Pidgey shiny. That's already 4 shinies, right? But I have never checked during the day, at least, what else we've gotten shiny. Like, there could be a Helioptile. So yeah. So let me do this one at a time. We know in there is a Drillbur. We know over here is a Drillbur. There is the Excadrill. That's an Alpha. That's an Alpha. Uh-oh. Gotta run. And see, the other 2 Excadrills aren't shiny. Yeah, the sound just played toward the other Drillbur. Let me get out of here, let me get out of here, let me get out of here. Okay. So thankfully we have no other shiny spawns during the day. As of right now. So we're at 4. I do check occasionally. Some shinies are noticeable, right? I do check occasionally. That other Drillbur must have just spawned in, because I checked maybe like 40 minutes before starting recording this episode. And the shinies here are pretty obvious. Drillbur and Onyx I don't need to worry about because not only will they sparkle on the ground. Aeron, Lairon, Emolga, Helioptile, and Excadrill. Let's talk about them. Obviously Aeron, its eyes turn red, and I think its body turns like a green, right? Wait, I have a shiny one and I could just look at the Pokedex. Right? So let's go down to Aeron. There we go. Yeah, it gets a slight green tint, you see? That's not as obvious as, like, Lairon, whose shiny is super green. Like, look at that. The shiny is so obvious. So, yeah, Aeron's a little bit of a tougher notice, but it is, in fact, noticeable. So that's Aeron and Lairon. Emolga I do not have, but Emolga pretty much becomes autumn colors. The black and yellow accents on it all kind of just become a light brown. So pretty much as long as we look at Emolga and it doesn't look like it's an autumn leaf. Try not to get the Lairon. Okay, good. Boom. So Emolga, really obvious shiny. It loses pretty much all the color. Helioptile turns bright red. It's like yellow on its body, turns bright red. Very obvious. And then Excadrill, well... Oh, the Pidgey alarm just sounded out there. You could hear the oh, was that the Magikarp? Hold on, let me reset a minute. But let me see. Yeah, okay, hold on. This might get me in trouble here, but there's the shiny Excadrill. That's what he looks like. His body becomes red, and his red on his body becomes blue, or bluish green. Now, when I talk about shiny Excadrill, I always say his blue parts on his body are the most noticeable change, and that's because I have encountered fog a lot in Wild Zone 14. Let me know down in the comments if you've encountered it. Oh no, Magikarp's not golden, so it was the Pidgey I alerted on. Okay. But let me know if you've hunted in Wild Zone 14 and if you encountered fog a lot here. I've gotten a lot of fog here. So that's why I'm saying, like, sometimes when it's foggy, the red coloring you can't notice as much, but the blue strikes through the fog, right? So that's why I usually, if you ever hear me talk about Excadrill, I will talk about that being the case because I've had fog here more than any other location. Just in my hunting for the last, like, 2 days, maybe 3 days at this point. I think this might be the 3rd day, but yeah, because I had the stream and then I was hunting a day before, so this is day 3. Only have 4 shinies so far, but right, I am waiting on the phase of the Magikarp. If I do not phase, by the way, that was the Pidgey. But if I do not phase on Magikarp, I'm quite happy. And we're here mainly for, oh, look at that, 2 Alpha Excadrills. One of them could have been shiny and we would have been done. And other things could be Shalpha here, right? We still have one more spawn for Onyx and Drillbur right to the right. Right to the right? You know what I mean, it's right off to the right side here. That could turn into a Shalpha. Look. Aeron walked right up to us and was like, hey buddy, how you doing? I ain't gonna alert. You can reset. It's like, thank bud. Lairon hates my guts. Lairon, I must have made some comments. I must have called him fat once. As a fat guy, that is a little annoying. But, you know. Yeah, it's like, there's a lot of things that could be Shalpha here. And I'll take any of them. Whether it's Helioptile, Emolga, the Excadrills, Drillbur, Onyx, which we only have one more shot at them. Or Aeron and Lairon, who are often Alpha at the front gate. Right? I go in mainly to check Excadrill because he's the guaranteed. But like I said, every once in a while, like if I do this for like 3 hours, maybe every hour, I check. Like we can see that body is not green. And look, even Alpha Aeron didn't, and let's see, like he didn't look at me, but even kind of side-eyeing me. He wasn't like, oh man, I better alert about this guy. Aeron's pretty chill 90% of the time. Lairon, however, wants blood. Oh. So yeah. Now, like I said, we still have an Onyx and Drillbur spawn to the right. That's one of the spawns we can phase on. Pidgey's over there. This Magikarp is one we can phase on. I don't think there's another Pidgey spawn anywhere else, or Fletchling or anything like that. I think that Pidgey right there just has that and that further spawn. But we've seen both, so it's like whatever. He moves between the two. Oh, I'm gonna get spotted by this guy. Nope. Oh, we just got out. Yeah, thankfully he does have a slow turn time. So even if he question marks, as long as we can get the Excadrill Alpha to spawn in time. Again, it's the Pidgey. That sound will either play when this Magikarp goes, or this Pidgey. And like I said, this Pidgey can move between a couple different spots, which is annoying because occasionally we can hear the shiny sound, but yeah. So there's 2 Lurons here we can phase on. Oh shoot, he saw me. So for instance, there's a Helioptile. But when I am spotted, I have to run back out through the gate and then reset, which does slow down the process a little bit. So getting spotted by Lairon is junky, but it happens. But like I said, we have 2 Aeron/Lairon spawns to this side, plus a shiny Drober we know about, and an Emolga. Emolga appears either there or there. Obviously, we have 2, or technically 3 Aeron or Lairon spawns to the right. Thankfully, none of those are shiny yet, but we do have a shiny Drober, and there's 1 more Onyx Drober spawn to the right as well. Yeah, my big eye is keeping an eye on the. I need to keep an eye on the Extra, but also the Shalpha. I need to keep an eye on the Alpha, so in case it becomes a Shalpha, and I need to keep an eye on the regular Excadrill, the other one that can spawn over here. Because shoot, I got spotted by that. Because he often, that other Excadrill likes to be Alpha a lot of the time. We've seen already him turn Alpha like 4 or 5 times just by the resets we've done. So yeah. So like I said, Aeron I'm usually not too afraid of. He doesn't really alert, like even if he's dead walking towards me, looking at me. Aeron's chill. Lairon's evil. I've stressed that point enough. But yeah. Like every once in a while, like every hour or so, I'll run around and check in case we get a new shiny spawn. We don't always do it because obviously at this point, we only have the 2 Drovers, Excadrill, and a Pidgey. We can definitely get way more than 10 shinies here, so that's why I have to be careful. Like I said, if this Magikarp turns shiny, that would boost us to 5. If any Aeron or Lairon, which I'm amazed I haven't phased on already, turns shiny, that's one we have to watch out for. So yeah, I need to make sure that if I ever can count 10, we stop and we catch them. Now, there could always be a shiny Onyx or Drober in that 3rd spot. An Aeron or Lairon can always turn Shalpha, right? Like this one could be a Shalpha. I mean, obviously its body's too black, but like what if we went up and it was like, do, look at me, I am a Shalpha. He wasn't though, but still. You know, it's one of those things. It's just, yeah. But yeah, this is what I do. I literally will sit here and either watch a stream and interact with someone, listen to music, or just kind of edit videos or something. Like I'm always multitasking when I'm doing this, but I just thought I can't talk. It is something that is tough because if I'm doing this and I'm editing a video and the video as it's processing and all that, if I don't have something to distract me, this is so mind-numbing. Like this one isn't too bad because like I still have to kind of be aware. You know, this is one that like I can be more aware of. It's like every once in a while I need to check on the Magikarp to make sure he's not shiny. I need to run in and make sure because the Shalpha doesn't, or the Alpha doesn't spawn right at the gate. I have to come in and actually look around. There's also other Pokemon that can be shiny or Shalpha, and I have to kind of keep track of them. You know, during the night, if a 10th shiny ever spawns, I do need to go catch one. So during the day, in case Helioptile spawns, you know, and if 10 shinies do appear, I'll look to see their Alpha again, man. Just one of them be shiny, and I'm done. You know, but this place is so tough because I can phase on a million things. I phased on 4 things, Thankfully not you, buddy. Love you, Magikarp. You're holding in there strong, little buddy. Fish, you are not becoming golden fish, and I respect you for that. It takes a big, strong fish to not become shiny, to not phase, and I appreciate that. But watch him turn shiny right now just to spite me after calling, after talking mad up. Like it's just like he's like, aha, now I'm golden. No, you're not. Good job, fish. Fish is holding strong. Oh, there's an out. Like if I could pick a Shalpha here. A Shalpha, Aeron, or Lairon would be cool because Aggron has a Mega Evolution. It is cool. Now, I already have Shalpha Onyx ×2. So that's not exactly something I'd want. I'd pretty much give away a Shalpha Onyx. Actually, I'd attach a Metal Coat to it and trade away a Shalpha Steelix, technically, to one of you. It would evolve. But Aeron, Lairon is Shalphas I would appreciate. Drober and Excadrill are Pokemon I appreciate. That's why another reason... I'm gonna piss everything off doing this, but I don't care. If this spot right here, the Pokemon here, because that's obviously not a shiny right now, but when I can actually get that thing to be shiny, if it's a Drober, if I can find out all 3 of the Drobers are there and I'm not phasing on an Onix, I might just keep those Drobers and never catch them. Even if I get to 10, I might catch other things because I do not want another shiny Onix. I do not need another shiny or a Shalpha Onix, but I haven't got the shiny there yet. We'll see. If it's a regular Onix, cool. It'll just go in the dupe box, and if one of you eventually need a shiny Steelix, I can give it away. Whatever, not the end of the world. But yeah, now Helioptile, Emolga, Excadrill, Drober, Lairon, Aeron, any Shalpha here is great. Mainly because why Emolga doesn't have a Mega Evolution. Its shiny is kind of cute. I really am a fan of autumn colors. I am an autumn kid. I love the fall. I was born in the fall, so I am a autumn colored kind of guy. I do love those colors. They're so bright and vibrant, and obviously eventually they will die and disappear for snow, but yeah, and Helioptile is a really bright red shiny, and right, Helioptile has a great shiny because it becomes very vibrant right. But I'm not going to undersell Heliolisk. The yellow, red, and black, because the orange accents turn yellow. His black still stays black, but the orange, his yellow on his body becomes like a vibrant red, just like Helioptile. Heliolisk has a bomb shiny. Getting a Shalpha with those colors, I'm down. So yeah, as long as and if I get a Shalpha Onyx, I'll be happy because I'm done with the thing. But also it'd be my 3rd Shalpha Onyx, and yeah. So like I said, the nice thing about seeing Alpha, Lairon, or Aeron, this guy's going to target me in a second. Oh, no, I got out of here. I saw the spawn. It didn't look shiny. I don't care. I'm resetting. I got him to spawn. That's the thing, too, is even if I don't see it, I'm still resetting by getting him up there, right? But Aeron and Lairon shinies are very obvious. Especially if Aeron's not an alpha, those red eyes will be very obvious on the tiny little body. But if it is an alpha, it's a little harder to tell. I kind of have to get... Oh, again, that's the Pidgey right there. Being close enough to Sparkle will make sound. See what I mean? Aeron's sort of within range of petting distance. And he's like, nah, man, I won't alert. It's as long as I don't run at him, he'll let me do my thing. But yeah, like I said, we'll do this for 2 days, 2 nights. This is day 1 of 2, and we've already done night 1 of 2, so we're pretty chill. But yeah, every once in a while, I do try to go look around. Obviously, if I'm here, I should hear the shiny sound if Magikarp is shiny. If the Pidgey spawns in any of the 1 spawns that aren't by this light post, it isn't close enough to sparkle or make the sound effect. So we are good. Oh, there's an alpha. Oh, I got too close. Yeah, see, I moved right at the Aeron. Like, if the Aeron's looking dead at you and you don't move, he doesn't seem to mind, but if you move towards him when he's an alpha, or I mean, just looking at you, he will alert. So yeah, but that's fine. Aeron very rarely alerts when I'm trying to sneak in. Okay. Was the Pidgey close enough? Yeah, it was. It was near the flowers, so that's normal. Yeah, the one thing I have to watch out for is if I ever hear that sound and the Pidgey isn't nearby, oh, that juice is bitter. Like, if I heard it now and the Pidgey's over there, that means fish has turned golden. Now, I love a good fish like the rest of y'all, but it is annoying sometimes to occasionally phase on a fish, but yeah. But yeah, my goal, my dream, is if I can get the 3 Drober / Onyx spawns completely shiny, right? Get those 3 shiny locked. I never have to worry about those spots. And, oh shoot. Oh, I might as well check. Nothing shiny over there, hey. Oh, that's an alpha, but it's not shiny, that sucks. The shiny sound you just heard was the extra drill, not the alpha one, the non-alpha extra drill shiny that was behind those rocks. We're good. But yeah, occasionally we'll check because it's like if I see another shiny, I do need to mark it down because I definitely need to track here because we can get up to 14 or 15 Pokemon shiny. And I would rather catch it than let it phase. Now, my plan, truthfully... That's the Pidgey, I just moved too close to him. My plan is if I am about to phase... Right? I am going to catch the... Magikarp or the Pidgey, or one of the boring ones, just to make sure. Because the Drober, the shiny Drobers, were the first one I saw. So yeah. Oh, look at that. Alpha Molga, Alpha Aeron. Look how close I can get to Alpha Aeron without him being mad. Obviously. Is that Pidgey? Yes, it was good. Yeah, so, Pidgey and... Like, I'd rather go catch one of the Excadrills than anything else. Like, I'd rather, like, try to isolate. No matter what, I want to keep the Drillbur shiny. Now, obviously, I need that Drillbur right up there to be eventually shiny. Well, it could also be an Onyx. But I just want the 3 underground spots shiny. So I can lock them in and be like, okay, those 3 are shiny. I don't have to worry about the underground. I know the underground is shiny. And also, I won't phase on a Shalpha Onyx. Now, like I said, if I got a Shalpha Onyx, I'm not going to complain. It's not like I'm not going to count it, but yeah. So, obviously, I can always peek over here and over here. If that thing was shiny, it would have made sound by there. So, I can occasionally sneak up and try to see if that thing's shiny without alerting anyone, too. So, yeah. This feels more like a stream than an episode. So just how, like, I don't know, how I'm vibing. Like, it feels weird, because I feel like an episode, it's like I have a goal or something, and this, it's more just showing you what I do during a stream. What I do stream. Sometimes I, like, will watch other people's streams or hang out, because it's like, it's always cool to meet fellow PokeTubers and... you know, interact. You never know if you might just meet someone cool that you can watch it. Sometimes you might meet someone who you can make content with, and sometimes you just might make a new friend along the way. And even as adults, we sometimes forget the power of having friends in our life, you know. Sometimes we get so busy with adulting and working and doing this and that we forget about friends. We forget about some family members. We may forget to reach out and get so absorbed in our own lives. 2 alphas again, really. But yeah. So it's like it's never a bad thing, even if you're a mother or father of a child, even if you are in a relationship, even if you're, you know, busy working or working on a project, it's not bad to stop and say hey to a friend. It's not bad to, you know, maybe try to meet someone who's chill and can get on your wavelength, you know? Because you just never know when you might need someone to talk with. Never know when you might need someone to discuss stuff with. And, you know, it's not bad to have. Not to mention, you know, sometimes, especially as content creators, if you have a fellow content creator friend and you come up with a really dumb idea and it's like, man, I need someone else just as content crazy as I am to work on it or, you know, partner on it, that friend may just be the perfect guy. Oh, it's Pidgey. Okay, good. Jesus, guys, it's the 6th. 4th of July is over. The U.S. has sucked again in a round of 16 football match, which isn't a surprise. Belgium was the better side. That dates when this is filmed. Like, stop with the fireworks. Also, they're illegal here. I really wish they're illegal here. There's a lot of people who are veterans and have animals and stuff. I wish the police would just straight up arrest them for disturbing the peace. Because they're actually illegal here. They're, you know, it's like they are breaking the law. Like, just arrest them, bro. Damn. But yeah. See, and I hope that, well, you know, what I said about the Drover Onyx being getting a shiny there, just so I know I can't phase on an alpha, is big. Wait, do the whole things ever change? No, okay. But yeah, you can see we just really like approached an Aeron and he didn't snap or alert or anything, so yeah. As long as I know there's 2 Aerons on this right side, I can sneak up a little bit and try to check if that thing becomes shiny. Yeah, but the main bulk of this is just fly resetting, and this isn't, honestly, this isn't all that fun. You know, like, this is a lot of work, and like I said, I could try to run around. I could also technically increase the odds of getting a Shalpha by catching whatever I see in here as shiny and then moving past it. And that is true, right? Maybe not the Pidgey and maybe not the Magikarp because, you know, those are outside the wild zone. I definitely don't want to phase on the Shalpha. Oh, okay. But yeah, like, you know. Also, Helioptile is one of those that, do I just catch it if I see it because it only spawns during the day? Maybe, actually. Helioptile might be the only exception that if I do see it shiny, I might just catch it because I don't want it to despawn or do something stupid during the night and, like, somehow fully despawn. Now, it shouldn't. But I've had instances where some of the Pidgeys have done that outside wild zones. Oh, that's probably the Pidgey being too close. If I reset in Magikarp, if Fish is Golden Fish, the disappointment will be immense, and I may sob. Alright, Magikarp. Come on, Fish. Be non-golden. Stay orange. You look good, orange. Where'd you go? You're over there. Good. Yeah, that's just that Pidgey. Whatever. Alright. Also, a thing that really hurts when I'm doing this is when I know I have shinies and I hear the sound. Every instinct in my body is telling me, you hear the shiny sound. Go catch them. Just go get them. And it's like, it'd make more sense not to catch them and try to limit phasing. Right? But yeah, I mean, thankfully we know 2 out of the 3 holes are drillers, and we know 1 of the 3 extra drills is shiny. Obviously, that leaves 1 more hole, 4 Aeron Laron spawns, or 5 Aeron Laron spawns, 2 Helioptile, an Emolga, and oh, he saw me, shoot. And the alpha and regular other extra drill. Oh, I'm so used to resetting inside, I just, oh. So yeah. Obviously from here we can tell that guy isn't shiny. So yeah. So I'm not expecting to actually catch any shinies today, funny enough. Unless the Shalpha appears or we somehow get 10 in like the little bit of time we're actually recording this, which would be actually amazing. Yeah, I don't know. If a alpha or Shalpha appears, yes. Like I said, the only exception. Oh, I'm gonna get spotted. Oh, they both turned around at the same time. Oh, that timing saved me. I was gonna say, as long as one of them's looking at me, I'm caught. But they both turned around at the same time. So yeah. Now, also, thankfully, alphas have a pretty unique, like, the sound. But also, you know, not only are they bigger and noticeable glowing red eyes and all that, but if I, like, came here and I heard like an alpha on the other side, and if that alpha stays for, like, a reset or 2 or 3, then yeah, I'll check. Yeah. Like, obviously, that guy is not Shalpha. The body isn't green, see? Oh, not shiny. So, yeah. Ooh, there's an Aeron right around that corner. He might have spotted me if I crossed any further. But, yeah, it's just, this is it. This is the nitty-gritty of what I'm doing off-camera when I'm doing these Shalpha hunts. Is I am just resetting. Occasionally I'll check on. I'm checking a little bit more now just to have like a narrative. But yeah, if I'm watching a content creator, if I'm watching a stream and I'm having a good time, I'm not gonna worry about it, you know? So yeah. Now, shinies, like I said, are kind of fickle in their own right. They can appear whenever they want. Like, I could do this for hours and not get a single shiny. Or, I can find 2 shinies really quickly back to back. You know, that's one of those things. Like, I could turn around and boom, Magikarp could... Where are you? There you are, buddy. He could be shiny, and then I could go in here, and Aeron could be shiny. Okay, everything didn't come to fruition, but you know what I mean. Oh, that's an Alpha Onyx in there, but it's not a Shalpha. Aeron saw me. That's fine. I was playing with fire there by looking. But yeah, if I hear that, like, warbling... I don't know how to describe it. It's like a warbling, like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh sound from the Alphas. Pidgey? Pidgey, yeah, he's close enough. Good job, Magikarp. Trust you, buddy. But, like, if I get close enough, and I can hear that sound... then I know it's a possible alpha. And if it's an alpha, it means it could also potentially be a Shalpha. Now, you know, the alpha chance is 5%, and we know shiny odds, shiny charm odds are 1 in... I hate you, Laron. Or in 1,025? Because if we round up? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so... you know, we're looking at like very small odds to get a Shalpha randomly. And that's why we focus on the one that is 100% alpha, because every time we roll in, that extra drill has a 1 in 1,000 odds. Now, obviously, truthfully, every Pokemon is rolled when it's, you know, spawned in. Oh, there you go, Magikarp. But like I could roll in and everything could suddenly be shiny and be like, whoa, wow, look at all these shinies. You know? But it's also very unlikely. And, you know, over odds happen, but like when we think about getting a shiny, we think those 1 in 1,000 odds. But with how many Pokemon are still available, right? Let me do like a rough estimate, right? So if we have 1,025 and it's 1 in 1,025, but you know, we have a certain amount of Pokemon in here. Let's try to remove the guys we have shiny. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's say we have like, I don't know, 12 more Pokemon that could be shiny. Oh, nope. Stop the clicking. That breaks it down to like 86. So, I mean, between those 12 shinies, technically by like weird odds and just the sheer amount of Pokemon that can become shiny, every 80, like we should get a shiny within 86 resets. Obviously, that's an alpha, not shiny. But oh, hey Aaron, yeah, I walked right at you. That's my bad, buddy. But yeah, that's really just it. Is, you know, give or take some of the spawns. Like I said, Drober has 3. Aeron and Leron has 5. Extro has 3. Emolga has 1, and Helioptile has 2 possibility. But I think it depends on how far we go. Because I don't think we are spawning the one that can spawn all the way deep back there occasionally. So yeah, like, the spawns here are really fickle, and it's why I have to stay so alert. Like this one, especially as I get closer, like right now, I have 4 shinies. I don't need to panic. But once I get to the point of like another one of the X-Drills becoming shiny, or any of the Aeron Lerons becoming shiny, or Emolgas. Oh, there's 2 Emolgas here. Or this 3rd Onyx / Drober spawn. If we get a 5th shiny, a 6th, a 7th, then I have to be careful, because like I said, I don't want to go over. I don't want to lose spawns when I can catch them. I'd rather catch and give away a shiny Aeron, or Leron, or Drober, or Excadrill, or Emolga, or Helioptile, instead of letting it go. Obviously, I don't have shiny Helioptile. I don't have shiny Emolga yet. I technically don't have a shiny Excadrill, but there's one on the screen, so obviously I will have a shiny Excadrill. So like, yeah, every other Pokemon I have for shinies for, but like, yeah, if I can get a shiny Emolga, a shiny Helioptile, you know, we're chilling, and that adds to our goals of getting a shiny of every Pokemon. You know, I'm actually honestly amazed with how many times I have reset that we have not got an Aeron or a Leron shiny. The fact we've got only the Drober and Excadrill line shiny is intriguing to me, because if that keeps up, right? Like, I know this is unrealistic, but let's say that 3rd hole in the ground becomes a shiny Drober. Then the only Pokemon we still have in here is shiny Drober and Excadrill. And then if we can get the other Excadrill shiny, that'd be, again, only Drober and Excadrill. And then maybe the Shalpha. You know, it's just like, it feels like right now we are only getting Drober and Excadrill shiny within here. Pidgey's outside the wild zone, where we have phased on him. He's more phased on because he's out here near this spawn when I reset. That was Pidgey. Versus actually stepping in here and spawning everything. So I'm just gonna let it reset. Alright. This is our 2nd night. So yeah. It's a long, boring road sometimes. Now, since it is nighttime, I think I'm gonna do a quick check on everything and see how everything's going. Make sure we don't have any other dupes. So no shinies here. No shinies here. We obviously know that guy. It's the extra drill I think I faced on. Or heard the shiny sound for. Oh, he's right there. Now. Oh yeah, it's because I turn my camera as soon as my back is facing a shiny. It will re-alert. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, so when it comes down to it, we are sitting at a very nice chill moment. Where now we know nothing else is shiny unless something appears right now. And yeah. Thankfully, like I said, as long as we can get that other Drover Onyx spawn done, I'll be quite happy. Now, obviously, if Extra Drill just in the center wants to suddenly be Shalpha, and I can catch it, or something else wants to be Shalpha, and I catch it, wrap up this wild zone, I would be so happy. That'd be stress, weight off my shoulders, and I would never have to think about it again. What also sucks is those stupid things, the rocks, come back. Right? So there's no way for me to destroy it to have a better, clearer view. Like, I could go punch it, right? To try to clear space, but watch, here. Let's actually go do that. No, you know what? Let's actually not. Let's not piss stuff off. I think that sounds like a better idea to not piss, or accidentally kill something. And make all my work go for naught. But yeah. If I can get that third Onyx Drover hole, or the other extra drill, or just get a Shalpha in general, progress, right? And that's really it. Is if I can work towards getting things shiny. That sounds so weird when I go after a Shalpha, working on things to be. Oh wait, it's raining. Oh, hold on. We do have to be careful. I am spawning a Goomy over there. Okay, so as of right now, I can phase on a Goomy. Alright. So that's a little rough as well. Like I said, during the rain, we get an extra spawn with that Goomy there. So, oh, and it's an alpha. Now, a part of me, like he did say get a Shalpha in each wild zone. And he said in each wild zone. Like, it would be so cool if the ones outside I phase on could count, but that's not how the wording works. So yeah. Yeah, the wild zones I think that are the most boring is this one. Mainly because it's boring in the sense that it's... How do I say this without this sounding really bad? It's boring because, you know, it's kind of like I do get a move, but I can't really explore without getting way more shinies. Oh, I almost just went backwards for no reason. I could just reset. But, like, it's not the most boring. 5 is horribly boring. 5 is literally run to a certain point, despawn it, run back, respawn it, etc., repeat. Not fun. This one is at least a little bit more entertaining because it's as, like, you know... It requires a little bit more attention because there are shinies I can phase on. There are a limit to how many shinies I can actually see before we start losing some. Okay, that thing, that's 1 point on shiny. But yeah, and like I said, like there are things on here that makes it interesting. You know, like there's the fact we can now get a Goomy. Or Magikarp could be shiny. You know, we can phase on a ton of Pokemon that could put us into shiny, like a shiny nightmare situation. Well, it's not that bad. But yeah, it's eventually one of those things where if I phase on 1 or 2 Pokemon, each additional one kind of gets scary because we get closer to that 10. And once I get to like 9 shinies, I may need a catch. Like another strategy I could have is every 5 minutes a Pokemon comes back, and that's only 5 minutes of in-game time, not outside like real time. So one thing I could do is like kill the Pidgey next to me or kill the Magikarp. You know? So they can't spawn shiny. But I would have to do that every 5 minutes, and then I'd have to go move towards them, which could cause another shiny to spawn. And if, let's say, like, a shiny spawns and then I phase on something else, you know, it could just cause a whole whirlwind of effects, even though a lot of that would be a very rare, like 1% or less chance, right? By the way, if that Goomy becomes shiny, we're immediately flying over and catching it. But yeah, there's a lot of things to worry about this zone. Now, like I said, this zone isn't the big, bad, like, super scary zone. And there are a lot of other zones that are much more boring, but are less stressful. You know, Wild Zone 12, I can bench reset, and I know I can phase, but also, if I get a shiny nearby me, I will hear it as I'm phasing. And the fact that there's so many alphas that could appear, and this area is pretty common with alphas, yeah, not too worried. 5 is really boring because I just have to run it back and forth. But, you know, it's also one of those things that it can't really record because the splashing of the water is so awful. Just awful. 8 has a bench I could reset at too. But I also might want to just run through there just to run through there occasionally, right? So yeah, it's like, it's not the end of the world for that, but yeah. Then we have like Wild Zone 11, which I would love to run through. I would love to phase on as many frou-frous and stuff. But there's also like two alphas I can run through, and there's no good bench. So like 11 and 19 are ones that I can run through. I can fly reset at Cafe Ultimo here. 13, I can fly reset at the entrance and walk to it. I feel like I'm missing one. I think I covered all of them. Yeah. So like, it's not the end of the world. Like, a lot of them are either bench or fly resets, and 2 or 3 of them I would love to run through. But I also have options to like maybe find another way. Right? But yeah, ultimately, the Pokemon I think I would say if I saw shiny I'd go grab are only twofold. It'd be that Goomy over there when it's raining, which it doesn't often rain, and during the daytime when it is bright out. Helioptile, because it's such a unique spawn, like it has such a specific condition needing to be daytime, needing to be clear or sunny weather, like, you know. Other than that, you're not going to see Helioptile. So I would hate to get 10 shinies and then be like, oh man, I can't catch Helioptile and end up losing. Right? Like, that would suck. I'm not being efficient right now. I need to lock in. This is one thing that happens, is if I'm distracted by something else, like a stream or something, I can, you know, I can do this and watch their stream, and if I need a comment, I can always like pause to comment, or while I'm doing this, type, comment, send, and then grab this back because I can type actually pretty decently quick. Not the world's fastest, obviously, but good enough to know that as long as I'm on a Switch 1, I can take that time to type. By the way, on a Switch 2, when I get it, once we hit the goals that I've set for it, yeah, gonna be a nightmare hell. By the way, I think if that Goomy ever becomes Shalpha, I know it's super rare. Let's just check this over here. Make sure it's not shiny. Oh, there's, okay. It's an Onyx. If that Goomy becomes a Shalpha, I am counting it. Because that is such a rare spawn. The Magikarp, I won't count. No, Fish is special too, but, you know, Pidgey definitely won't count. But, like, if that Goomy over there ever becomes Shalpha, I think I'm going to count it just because of how rare it is. You know? I think that's fair. And obviously, if Chillin' Reap has a problem with it, I can always come back, obviously, because it's his challenge. I'm going to let him dictate what's okay and what's not. And unless he comments otherwise, I can do kind of whatever I want. Because if he has a problem with it, he has commented before about stuff like if I say something and he has a problem with it. He has commented before saying no, or, you know, like, yeah, that's okay, or stuff like that. So he is very much chill about it. And the only reason I know it's a he, because I know at one point I was like they, he, she, I don't know gender, I don't want to, you know, assume. But he did comment that at one point he did something. And so I know I can use he just fine. So yeah, just like a few others, obviously I know. But yeah, try not to immediately assume, but yeah. But back to my point I was making. Oh, good. Like, has a problem with it. I can always come back and redo this hunt later. I can always like de-summon. Because every other shiny I've gotten has been, or Shalpha I've gotten has been in the wild zone. You know, I also don't know, and I do need to kind of ask him and make a comment on an episode if wild zones count within it. Like if there's a wild, like a hyperspace zone within the wild zone right here and I ran into it and got a Shalpha, I'm technically in hyperspace, but I also technically am in the wild zone, you know? But it also feels really cheaty, and I only might try that if I'm so dead and bored that I need some hope and some, you know, some spark, you know? But yeah, at the end of the day, as I said, we are doing pretty well. If I can get one more shiny to show up, that's a regular Drover. Yeah, anytime, if I see that whole alpha, I will go up to it, because obviously shiny Drover's nose will poke out and will be very obvious. And if it's Onyx, it's like his like big like horn thing sticks out, will also be very obvious. So yeah. But yeah, if I can find out one more shiny, especially that whole one, but any of them, then I can start to eliminate what spawns I have to check. You know? Man, 2 alpha extra drills and neither one of them want to be shiny. Come on. Yeah, but, you know, it really is just this grind. And, you know, I'm glad I get to talk to you guys. I'm glad I get to show you this. But you can see the kind of boredom you can have if there's nothing else to do. Or, like, doing it long enough, you get bored. And the sucky thing is right now, especially with having shinies, I can catch these shinies, right? Oh, there's the goo. Look at him, hey, little buddy. But I can catch these shinies and restart and possibly rephase, right? Like that's one thing. It's like if I have things shiny, like, and I have shiny sit here, then each next shiny has a less, you know, the next shiny has to be one of the other ones that spawn in here. Right? Let's say I have these 4 shinies. And then the Onyx and Drover spawn is shiny. And then the other extra drill shiny. That leaves a Molga, Helioptile, and then the Aeron and Laron spawns, which are a lot. Like, there's no way to isolate that spawn only. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's rough. Yes, I know, Pidgey. How are you doing, buddy? And like I said, any one of these guys, like even Onyx can be Shalpha, and I'd be happy because I'd be done. Also, I would never really have to just make sure Magikarp. Okay, Goomy isn't shiny. Magikarp isn't. Okay. I would not need to hunt here anymore. Wait, what's shiny? Wasn't this, right? No. Oh, it must have been that. Anyways. Yeah, because like everything here besides Emolga and Helioptile, I pretty much... Hey, Pidgey. No goop. Pretty much everything I have here, I have shiny. Besides Helioptile and Emolga, and I'm only counting extra on that as yes because I technically have the one over there shiny. Yeah, Aeron's little reach is not far. I realized with him I could roll back now. So that's a good strat to pick up. Lairon will follow you to the ends of the earth and haunt your dreams when he locks onto you. You can't just run to the gate and despawn. But yeah, so ultimately, if I can just keep going. And like I said, if I know I'm getting to like 9 or 10 shinies, like let's say Magikarp here and Pidgey there, I might, you know, catch that. And like I said, Helioptile I will catch, Emolga I will catch. Okay, maybe not Emolga. Now there's 2 Emolga spawns. That's annoying. Yeah, it's also the fact that I have to walk in. I'm spawning other stuff. Nope, not the Aeron. And the Alpha's gonna stay angry, so I need to actually exit. Yeah, like a part of me is like, yeah, I can just run around, catch whatever's shiny, and go on. And you know, that's maybe a strat I should try. Maybe I should go around and maybe not these guys out here so I don't phase on them. But maybe in here I run around and catch everything I see shiny, right? Because then that respawns and it gives more chances for things to respawn versus isolating, but then... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can do this for a long time and phase endlessly. That Aeron doesn't look shiny. So yeah, you know, it's just, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know what the right strat is with this one. I can run around the inside and get more spawns just by running around the entire thing. But that also gives more chance to phase. There's also the chance that, you know, by phasing constantly, I could be in a worse situation than letting these guys sit here. But by doing this, like how many actual spawns am I spawning in day and night? As long as rain's here, we have a bonus one too, which is not great, right? Like, there's obviously the Pidgey, Magikarp, and the Goomy down there as long as it's raining. Goomy's here. But when it's raining, we also don't have Helioptile potentially spawning. So it's like, I don't know, it's like what? We have the 5 Aeron and Lairon spawns, 3 Jober Onyx, 2 Emolga possibly, Helioptile during the day, Goomy during night, or I mean Goomy during rain, 3 extra drills, and if I run in, I think I actually am spawning in, depending on how far I run in, more holes. So is it just better for me to run around and catch? Should I just, yeah. So hold on. So obviously Pidgey, Magikarp, and Goomy, I would just leave here because it's like whatever. Well, I'd catch Goomy, but like yeah, because it's during the rain and I wouldn't want to. But let's say I ran in here, right? Let me actually do it next time. There we go, let me reset. But let's say I ran in and I just caught everything. That is 4 shinies I know off the board. It doesn't look shiny, but imagine this Aeron is a Shalpha and I'm just done. Oh, I might as well run around here. Oh my god, look, the Alpha Aeron looked straight at me and didn't aggro. I was able to fly reset. Oh, Aeron, I love you, little buddy. Aeron, you're the best. I love you. Laron, I hate you with a passion. Yep, see, hate him with a passion. He knows it. I know it. We all hate him with a passion. Oh, I keep forgetting I'm not in Wild Zone 14, so I can't just click one-handed. But maybe I should try that. Because I've been resetting here for a while. See, this is another thing, is I start to have like doubt and stuff creep in my mind. Like, if I run around just caught everything, is that better or worse? It means I'm like filtering down what could be shiny less, but also that just means I'm going more towards like I am having more odds of things randomly being Shalpha. That doesn't look like it's a shiny. It is not. Oh wow, I actually was able to not get noticed. I'm actually amazed by that. But yeah, like I could run around here and try to get a lot of shinies and alphas. But like, is there a better way than this? Than resetting, running in, and all that? Nope. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's tough to say here, but it's like, what strategy will work better? I feel like the isolation one makes more sense because it's worked for other spawns or other wall zones. And when I pause and look at this, how many zones have I caught non-alphas? This one was a random fletchling. This one I reset specifically for Stormy or Starry. But I had a specific path I reset, just kept fly resetting, which had a limited number of spawns. This one I didn't get the Shalpha, I kind of phased. This one I did get. This one I did get the Alpha Houndoom Shalpha. This one I got the Manetric. This one I got the Sharpedo. This one I got the Ampharos. This one I got the Pyroar. This one I got the Fletchinder. This one I got the Salamence. I mean, so most of the time, I have gotten the Alpha Shalpha except in... what? 2 occasions? The Skidoo and the Fletchling, and those were both just... the Skidoo I wasn't trying for, it just happened. And the Fletchling just kind of happened as well. Right? It was like I was trying for the Pidgey, and then randomly I didn't even notice it. And then I caught it because it shined and I panicked into a ball. And I just caught it because it's Wild Zone 1, and even an Alpha with a repeat ball you can catch 100% with a repeat ball, even if it's a Shalpha in Wild Zone 1. So it's like, whatever. But that's just the point of it. I was so easily... like, that one I was just running kind of through it along a designed path. So, like, would that be beneficial for me? Would that be the method? See, but that's a problem. I can't really test this method without resetting everything. The only way I could do that is if I caught the 2 Drillbur, caught the X-Drill, left the Pidgey, and eventually the Magikarp would become shiny. But then I would just keep running around 14, right? Like, would it actually be better? And, you know, another thing is like... not a Shalpha. Not green, it's gonna nose me though. You know, that's just it. Like, I don't know. See, this is another thing. If I'm left to my own devices and I'm not distracted doing this, I will start to actively start to debate what is the best method. And sometimes that debate might lead me to a better path. Oh. But also, it might lead me down a more destructive path where it's like, oh no, I should just abandon what I'm doing now and run around. Well, if I see a shiny and try to catch it, I have to be recording. So the one negative is if I catch stuff, I'm going to have to record as I hunt 14, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also more videos that get backed up, that get, that sit there, and with me releasing a video a day, if I have like a month or two backed up of me just hunting 14 by running around and catching everything, it will take more time recording, and that might mean this thing runs on for a bunch of episodes. It's like, also, is there just a better area to... Oh, the rain stopped, so Gumi won't appear. Okay, that's cool, I just noticed. Wonder how long that's been going. But are we spawning, what's his name? Oh, Helioptile's there, yep, cool. Alright, so yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a tough thing, because it's like, the more I think about it, the more I debate about this or that, and... yeah. See, bench resetting is different, right? Like, let's use, should I use that one for example? I'll use two different examples and we can talk about this. So first, let's talk about Wild Zone 8. Resetting at Wild Zone 8 does not reset a single Shalpha. It's not close enough. I am not resetting anything. Now, anything at Wild Zone 8 could randomly become a Shalpha. But I'm not getting a specific alpha in Wild Zone 8. Like I said, hunting, I don't need to check for Gumi. I need to stop that now. But yeah, like I'm saying, going to 8 does not work. I could run through 8, which is another option. But again, I'd have to, run through, try to track shinies. And there's a lot of Pokemon. But there is a bench that resets Machop, a Trubbish, and an Abra that's outside. And... the camera. I think you can also do Krokorok and Sandile, but only if they spawn in that specific spot. Because their spawn points are kind of weird. Like, they sometimes will appear just outside of it. Sometimes they'll spawn just in it. But yeah, there's a bench I can reset at. And I only can get 2 Machops within Wild Zone 8. And a Camerupt. And then I can also end up getting an Abra and a Trubbish outside. But that's only 5 Pokemon total. I can go to that bench and reset. And reset until I see the Camerupt. And know that even if I reset there a dozen times, like, I reset there until the Camerupt shiny, the most I can have backlogged as shinies are 5. Maybe if you include the Sandile and the Krokorok, that could sometimes appear. But they're not a guaranteed, and so they're not a consistent factor. And I actually have seen them only pop up once or twice, but that's after I've moved. Not just actually reset there, because I haven't tried that yet. So it's like, I could reset there forever and not phase on a single thing. Or I could phase while resetting, but like not phase in a sense where I could go over the 10 limit of saved shines. Right? So, yeah. But using another example is one like Wild Zone 12. There is a bench that I can sit at that has 15 spawns that reset. Snorunt, Snover, Go-Goat, Machop, Delibird, Vanillite, Bergmite, Machoke, Abomasnow, and Avalon. 2 of those are alphas. But the nice thing is even if I get, like, if I hear a shiny sound, I could check around. I could run around, and the only Pokemon I'd have to watch out for scaring off is Delibird, because Delibird is very skittish and will run away very quickly. So, like, I do have to be careful with Delibird, but also it's like, I could always get Delibird in hyperspace. Like, I'm not too worried about that. And it is affecting 2 spawns for Delibird. So even if I scare one off, I could potentially get the other. And while there's 15 spawns and I might go over 10, I also can just kind of keep track also, you know. And so yeah. So at the end of the day, it isn't that big of a deal, and resetting 15 Pokemon is not that awful. Now there are a couple other benches that reset similar counts, but those benches are the best one to get both. I believe there's a bench outside Wild Zone 13 or outside Wild Zone 12 that also hit the Avalugg and the Abomasnow. It hits Avalugg, Abomasnow, Delibird, Bergmite, Vanillite, Snowbird, but it could also phase on a Spritzee, a Skrillex, a Patrat, a Magikarp, and a Ghastly. And that is still 11 Pokemon. There is another bench that only can hit 10 Pokemon. Let me try to click on it because I keep accidentally catching the 11. There we go. And it's the only problem with it is I go after 2 Patrat spawns, a Magikarp, a Ghastly, a Skrillex, a Spritzee outside. And then inside I go for Vanillite, Bergmite, Delibird, Abomasnow, and Avalugg. So there's only 10 total spawns I can get, and Ghastly's a night only. Oh, it would help if I kept running as I was talking, instead of stopping and pausing like an idiot. But those 10 spawns, right, are something I could isolate, but I am getting a lot less Pokemon within the Wild Zone. So that is also a thing I have to worry about. Because when it comes to Wild Zone 13, right, and I just look at that first bench option, which obviously if I'm trying not to phase on anything, I can always go for the one that has 10 options and isolate that completely. He just spotted me. So let's run up here, make sure that thing is tiny. That's from behind, don't worry about it. It definitely wasn't that Aeron. So let's reset. Anyways, Snorunt, I still need, but I could get that in hyperspace. Maybe I will go for the 10 one for Wild Zone 12. But like I said, Wild Zone 8 and Wild Zone 12, I have zones I can bench reset at and not worry. Now, specific zones, like... You're not shiny. No, okay. He wasn't shiny, it was the guy in the ground. Don't need to worry about it. I just placed him off, didn't I? Shoot. But Wild Zone 11, there's not really a good bench reset method to get everything. I can't really tell. No, it's not shiny. 2 Alpha, by the way, over there. Neither one of them want to be shiny. But yeah, so like if I talk about like 19, right? Like 5, there are methods to kind of reset, but none will ever reach the guaranteed Alpha Bellsprout. So like that one, the best way to do is underground running. It's just not a lot of fun, but I can run underground and isolate the Whirlipede. So not the end of the world with that one. But yeah, so like let's talk about some of the other wild zones that are left. Right, we talked about 12 and 8. 5 we talked about with the running underneath, which is just, it's the most boring, but it's also like also the most isolated you can get, because the only thing respawning is during night when, you know, some of the stuff around me respawns, like a Bellsprout and stuff. But for the most part, the only thing I am resetting, unless I overshoot my marks, is that Whirlipede. I think I can get a couple of the Scolipede, Venipede, but yeah. Now, talking about the other zones. Now that we've talked about 12, 5, and 8 in a little bit of detail as we keep running this, right? I guess let's go talk about 19. So 19's tough because there's not really a good bench reset method for it. I think there's 2 benches where we can reset like 13 Pokemon, But at most, they're only resetting the Kangaskhan, Audino, and Fufu random spawn in 19. It's not actually resetting anything. Meanwhile, I could just fly to Wild Zone 19, but I'm only resetting 4 Kangaskhan spawns, 3 Audino spawns, 3 Fufu, and the Eevee. And I'm also phasing on 2 potential fletchlings outside. Now, I will admit, 3 of those spawns, the Kangaskhan, Audino, and Fufu, are the same spawn point. So, in Wild Zone 19, if I just flew to Wild Zone 19 and kept resetting, the most Pokemon I could get shiny would be an Eevee, a Kangaskhan, 2 fletchlings, and then either 2 or 3 spawns of Audino, Fufu, or Kangaskhan. So at most, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I just reset there, I can get 7. But there's no guaranteed alpha by doing that either. Versus me maybe running through it more at night. But yeah. Outside of 19, let's go and talk about... well, yeah, I guess let's talk about 15. So 15, at the end of the day, I would probably just go and reset at the cafe. But I would have to do this on camera because Punkaboos do not stay if they're shiny between the day and the night spawns. So I have to make sure as soon as I see a shiny Punkaboo, I catch it. So that has to be done on camera or on recording. Same difference. That's not shiny, okay. But yeah, so... You know, 15's another one, 11's another one that just doesn't have a real good spawn. There's like a couple benches near there, but if I even try to talk about one of them. Yeah, inside the Wild Zone, I am resetting a Stunfisk. I'm resetting a couple Clauncher or Gyarados spawns. There is a Magikarp that's outside. There's another Stunfisk on the far side, another Stunfisk on the near side. The Slowpoke and the Slowbro. I can reset 1 alpha. There's 2 in there. Versus me running through. Not to mention that zone, much like 19, I need a ton of Frufruits shiny. So between those 2 zones, I'd rather just run through and make content by running through, talking about Frufru, and just trying to have a good time. Honestly. Also, there's no good bench or reset method. But yeah, we talked about 19, we talked about 11, we talked about 12, we've talked about 5, we've talked, obviously we're doing 14 now. Am I missing another zone I talked about? Talked about 8, wait, hold on. Yeah, so 5, 8, 12, 19, 14... Oh, and then 15, yeah, okay. Yeah, 19, 11, shoot. Anyways, so I think the only one left after that is 13. And 13's weird because I have to move. And it's very boring, but also it's like a night only unless I want to run through. So yeah, so that one's a little bit weird. I could reset during the night. But yeah, so at the end of the day, it's just really weird, some of the zones I have left. Because I would love to go in order and get 5 done, but 5 gets really boring after a while. Then after that would be 8. And 8's a bench reset one, so I can do that without much worry. And that's something I can do, like... Yeah. No, now that I'm thinking about it, 5's one I should do when I have a ton of content to edit, because I would still need to be able to like edit and work on other stuff while resetting 5 and 4 the benches. Maybe I should like go work on a different zone than this one. I don't know. See, now I'm getting in my own head, and that's the one problem about this. If I'm given time to think, I can overthink. You know, which is a bad habit of mine. Okay, so it doesn't look like we've gotten another shiny yet. From anything while doing this, so that's good. So the Drillbur, the two Drillburs, the Extra, and the Pidgey are the only shinies we have so far here. Thankfully, Carp, good old Fish, has not faced. We know shiny's there. We know shiny's over in there. Thought that. We know one of the Extras are, and we know the Pidgey's out here. Like, I haven't done this efficiently, but now I'm starting to think about it. Like, maybe I should run around here. Because why, that's a lot of videos I can edit after I get done with a Pokemon here. I can just go and bench reset until I record an episode, and then go bench reset again, and if I catch all these shinies, that's just going back to square one. I don't know, man. See, I'm getting in my head. If only a Shalpha would come and save me. Because that would be the best. By the way, this is the last day I am recording for this episode, and then after it reaches night in game, we will call the episode. So I know this is already going long, but yeah. I need to get back to focus on resetting. I've kind of been resting around a little bit, talking about other stuff, and not been efficient about this. Like, even if the other Excadrill became shiny, then I would know both the Excadrills are shiny and I can just focus on the Alpha. Hey, Aaron, are you shiny? It doesn't look like it. Oh, he is. Oh, look, both of them are Alpha over there. Bro, just one of you be shiny. We have 3 Alphas right there at the same time. Neither one wanted to be shiny. Like, none of them. But right, that's ultimately it. It's like, all it takes is one of these Alphas to bang boom become shiny, and we're chilling. Now, one tough part about tracking the Aeron Lairons, kind of like with the Excadrills, the 2 Excadrills that are non-alpha shift between 4 different points. So sometimes we may not see the shiny. So that's why, like, if I can see both of them shiny at the same time, be like, oh, both of them are shiny, I don't need to worry about them. It's just like this. Like, this Aeron right here could be shiny. And then wait, hold on. I'm hearing shiny left and right. I'm scared. Gotta exit. Hold on. I heard like 4 sparkles there. I only know the 2 extras. So hold on. Maybe one of the Aeron or Lairons are shiny and I missed it. Alright. This is another thing, is all the sounds are throwing me off there. That is another reason I'm thinking of just catching all the Pokemon in there shiny that I see. Alright, let's start on this side. Either the Aerons are shiny, but that guy is. Emolga isn't either. This side. Not shiny, not shiny. You're not shiny. You are, you're not. Alright, so, okay, so I think I turned around and I caused the sound to play again. If you do not know, for some reason, the sound is also like, if you turn your back to it, it will alert you, hey, there's a shiny behind you. By playing the sound once when you're not looking, and once when you are looking. So let me see if I can't recreate it here to show you. So let's say I sneak this way, right? And you hear the shiny sound because it is alerting me that shiny, and then it sparkled again. And if I turn back around, it's not going to alert again. So that's why if you hear 2 shiny some of the time, it's warning you that your back is turned to it. So that's why we heard 4 sounds there, is because there was 2 shinies, and they alerted once from behind, or once from when we're behind or turned around, and then once when we're facing it. Yeah. It is annoying. But it's also cool. Where'd the rock go? Well, our little hidey rock's gone. I went to go hide behind that rock so I could check on the thing, and it's just been obliterated. Yeah. Shoot. Oh. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about this more, maybe I should destroy it. I don't know. See, now I'm getting in my head. I gotta stop. I'm getting into my own head debating about what I shouldn't and shouldn't do. Yeah. I think I just need to focus on the Shalpha. See, a part of me kind of wants to go and bench reset, but like, yeah. Because the one small tough thing about doing this is if I get too into running for the, looking at the alpha and then resetting and I don't check stuff, I could phase on a shiny. And I could be here a lot longer. Is there a better way? I heard an alpha. Oh, I could go back that way. Hold on a minute. Let me think about something. I'm gonna do this off camera. I have an idea. Is there another way to spawn everything in? Interesting. Hold on a minute. I may have a theory. So first off, I want to make sure I can put this as close as I can to that extra. That's a little off. Let's go over here. That's a little further off. Let's go. That's close. I think it has to be a little bit further because there's no way he spawned in at 53 meters. Alright, let's try there really quick. I want to see if I can spawn him in. Because I have a theory about this. So I don't think that's the exact spawn point he's at. No, I think I do need to move it over a tad bit. Oh. Alright, hold on. I can just fly reset. What am I doing? I want to check this mark out because I want to test something. So I have a dumb idea. I can get this as close as I can to his actual spawn. Okay, so it's a little further up. Not by much though. Is that about right? I know I'm gonna piss him off. That's like almost dead on, I think. Let me exit. Okay. Alright, so let me reset really quick. So I think that's about dead on from what I've seen. So, here's my plan. Yeah, I get it. I can hear the things in there. Okay. So if I run from here to there to despawn, respawn, despawn, because he despawns at 70, respawns at 50. I have to make sure that's like dead accurate spot. I don't think that's a dead accurate spot. Okay. That should be sending me run, 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 see if I despawn them. Okay. This might be a better strategy, but I also don't think it is. I think it was worth an idea. So I think I'm despawning, respawning. So yeah. Alright, hold on. Let me fly reset. And let me run in and try to just like nail his exact spot. Go. Oh, did I move my spawn? Yeah, I did. So he's right here. Not exactly. There's one more. Not close enough. That's pretty damn accurate. Dodge everything that's trying to kill me! Okay, so I ran in like dead on his spot. That should be where he spawns. Now, give or take one, maybe I'll go... This will take it a little longer. But maybe I should go out to like... Go to like 45 to make sure he spawns in. Like there, 45. And then run back to maybe like 72. And make sure... Yeah, I feel like that would spawn in. What all is that spawning in? Let me bring up Lumios, the Lumiosity map on Trainer Lab and check. Let me crank on all spawns. So there's a Pidgey over here. There's Drover Onyx. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I'm spawning. I think I'm spawning even more doing this. Because there's a Pidgey here I could face on. Also, that's in there. Yeah, I don't think that's a method. It's just running in and checking the method, like how I've been doing. Why aren't you shining it? Wait, hold on. Why is he already spawned in? Let's fly reset. I'm gonna wrap up this episode, but I did a little bit tinkering. I don't think that's a shout. What was that sound I just heard a second ago? What nightmare fuel was that? Oh, it's him. Oh, there's a shiny Onyx here! Alright, hold on. That changes everything. So now we have Onyx spawning in as well. So we have 8 shinies, 5 shinies confirmed. Magikarp, you're not shiny? Good, okay. So we have this Pidgey, let me reset. And the 3 Drillbur and Onyx spawns are locked in with Pokemon. So that means that the only other Pokemon now that can be shiny are the Excadrill, the Aerons, Larons, the Emolga. So I'm going to hear a lot of sounds. I think I heard an alpha here. Yeah, I did. It's not showing up. So yeah. But it is annoying how many shinies I hear. And if I hear an alpha, I'm going to have to go check it. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit tougher. Also need that rock to respawn. But the nice thing is, by knowing those 3 underground spawns are there, that means the underground spawns are locked in, and we're at 5 shinies. I don't know, man. This is getting a little worrisome. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I got to figure out what I want to do. Until next time, tag out. I want to give a special thank you to all my Patreon members. Urza and Scott, you're amazing. If you guys want to check out Patreon and join it to get a shout out at the end, check Patreon down in the link to the description below. And you can also, like Scott did, make me re-record this.